Welcome to You Should Meet My Sisters, the podcast. I'm Felicia Juliana.
I'm Leah Naomi.
And I'm Monique Danielle. And we are...
Who are we?
Les Sisters 3. Les Trois Sisters. Les Trois Sisters.
Oh,
Who knows where you were going with
Oh, our laughs are so loud.
it's
Can you see
alright.
it? It's alright, it's not peaking.
It's not peaking.
Oh my god. How are you lot doing?
I don't know. Alright.
Alright?
We live.
Ish.
Why ish?
Wow. You know. We just had to set all this nonsense up. I'm sweating. There's lights. Can you see the bug?
I can see
I
the
can see
bug.
I just
It's
killed
okay,
the
it's
bug.
the
I
first
don't
time.
have to kill
It's the
the
first
bug.
time.
True.
We'll get used to it, it'll get quick. And it won't be a thing.
Yeah, I'm just not going to move anything.
Just living it.
I'm going to put sellotape where it is. So I
Wow.
don't forget.
Wow.
Might be the waves.
You did keep your Christmas tree up for how many months?
Why are we talking about that then?
Didn't it go down in July?
Because you did. I swear.
It came down in July.
First of all,
And she was like, it goes with the decor of my flat.
first of all, it's a pandemic, okay?
What's that
At
got?
least
It
to do
happened
with
after
Christmas?
Lockdown was in March.
Actually, the bat was... the
bat
bat
was
was
in November.
The bat was discovered in November. And I felt it in my heart. My chest
Okay.
felt the doom that was coming. I was like, you know what?
Yeah, I'm
we should
sure your
leave
chest
this
felt the
leave this
doom
Christmas
as
tree.
you were raining in the new year.
Look, first of all, here's the
It's
thing.
not doom, don't lie.
Okay, what happened was,
Uh-huh.
I only put the Christmas tree up a week before Christmas.
Yes.
And then I was like, this hasn't been up long enough. So I was like,
So
alright,
So
I'll
you
change
extended
it.
Christmas into the next year.
Here's the
You know
thing.
Americans do
what
that
happened
weird
was-
thing where they do like Christmas in summer.
Do they?
Yeah,
didn't know
yeah.
they
It's,
did that.
it's this
What?
really, really, really weird thing that they do. But they do it as like, you know how we'll do themed, maybe a summer play?
Yeah.
They'll do like Christmas in summer as this.
That's what I was
Trend.
doing. I knew that.
No, you weren't.
So I
You
just
weren't,
thought,
Are you American?
you know what? Let's
Huh?
embrace our brothers across the
I
pond.
don't think so.
Alright, what happened was I wanted it up, and then I was like, oh, my birthday's in February. Might as well keep it up to my
Christmas
birthday.
tree.
You
for
keep
your
Christmas
birthday?
tree for the birthday?
I love Christmas.
If it was Leah, she would have changed it to have like pictures of her on the tree.
Well, it should.
It would have just been a me tree. What are
Yeah,
you talking about?
Leo.
Well, I definitely. Nah, that would have been too much for me. I just thought it was pretty. And then everyone kept telling me to take it down, and I was like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm leaving it. And then I quarantined.
With your
Away from
Christmas
the
tree.
Christmas
Away from the tree for the whole time.
And then I came back and I was like, you know what?
It's a pretty tree.
It's time to say goodbye to the tree.
And then I was
Bye-bye.
like, then someone told me I should keep it up till Christmas because it's already halfway through the year, and I was like, I'm taking it down.
Because she'd be like, I had no
Don't
joy of
so
Christmas. I
stubborn.
didn't get to
Someone
celebrate
told
my
me what to
tree."
do.
You know, I don't like that. It's just like,
You're mad.
if it's my idea, it's great. If it's your idea, I'm changing it.
That's mad. How did you find quarantining? Wow, really that bad?
Oh, it's just stressful. Do you know what it is?
It's being told what to do, innit?
I hate
No, you
that.
can't leave.
Here's the thing, like being at
God.
home alone for me is a joy, but being at home and not being able to go outside is annoying. Because I'm like, I rarely go outside, but when I do, it's on my own terms.
I was gonna say,
And
you
I
do
don't wanna do
realise
that.
you're the person that you have to like pry
Forced
to
to
get
get
to do
out.
anything.
I know, yeah, but like now, I'm like, let's do everything. Let's do everything. It was just, you know what, at first, it was just panic.
Of course.
Especially because I was at work, and I work for a travel company.
Yeah.
And that was
So
like,
face to
everyone's
face
coming
with
in.
people.
Everyone's coming in,
Course.
and everyone's panicking, and every person that comes through is like, oh, have you heard about the virus? Have you heard about the virus?
I know.
How many people died
Yeah.
today?
It's
Blah,
small
blah, blah.
talk.
Yeah, and
God.
every day it's that, and then you end up sitting and looking through the news throughout the day, like,
Oh my gosh, this is happening. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was actually hindering me.
I get you.
And then when they shut the office, I was like, yeah, you know what, I feel a bit
I
better now.
thought you said when they shot the office.
office
I was
up.
like,
Yeah.
what did I miss?
No. When
I
they
was like, what did I miss?
When they shut the office, I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
yeah, man, I'm okay with this. I didn't realise it was going to last until now.
I don't think anyone did. I don't think
There's
anyone
that.
did.
And obviously, like, at first it was like, oh, I get a break from day job and I can work on creative stuff,
Yeah.
so I'm actually quite happy.
Yeah, but then creative stuff just didn't happen because
you're just stressed.
Sitting in
I
house
don't know,
stressed
I
out.
feel like
And
it's been
see
phases. You know how they kind of did it as like phase 1, phase 2. I think us like experiencing it kind of went through the phases.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, because you go through this kind of like, oh my god, I'm stuck in the house. These walls. What am I gonna do? Like, you know,
you go
with
through
me.
like the 5-step program, innit?
Yeah, you do.
Yeah,
you
really
do. With me, I wasn't quarantined on my own.
It
Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I feel like if I was quarantined on my own, it might have been a bit different.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, no, I would have been writing song lyrics on my wall, like number 23.
Oh,
Being alone for quarantine here.
Yes, but I love to be alone. But no, I think it would have gone different. But I feel like the start of quarantine was mad. And I think it was for most people.
Yeah.
It was either really crazy or it was like holiday. And then I feel like it's after that like a lot of people started launching their own businesses.
Yeah.
Working online, taking up new jobs online and doing things for themselves. And I'm like, well done. Well done.
Yeah, in the midst of panic, if you can manage that, then...
Yeah.
I feel like it's really pushed people to do things differently. Like, literally, the way we do most things has changed. Yeah. And some of it, I'm here for it.
I still haven't figured it out, to be honest. I won't lie.
Mm-hmm.
I think at first I was panicked.
Yeah.
And then it was like, can I go outside? How bad is it for me to go outside?
I
can't even get no food. I can't even get no flour. Can't get no bread. And I was like, I don't want to be in a queue with lots of people that might be sick. And at this point, it wasn't mandatory to wear masks or anything. And not a lot of people even could get their hands on masks.
You know, I'm at Asda shop and they're shopping a massive Asda. I'd be there with my trolley and I'm like respecting the 2 meters, but I'm looking over me and I'm like, I can feel you behind me, like back up.
I had people in the Aldi just literally climbing over me for fruit and vegetables.
I had loads of stuff about like horror stories in Aldi.
Yeah, Aldi was
I don't know why.
Like, okay, shamelessly shopping in Aldi in it, but everybody's literally like back to back like that, walking through like, and security don't care.
It might be the layout though. Aldi hasn't got the best layout.
It hasn't.
It's got some, good deals and stuff, but the layout.
To be fair, I shopped in Aldi last week and it was exactly the same. Like, no one cares. But
now it's like that everywhere.
Yeah,
now it's literally like back to normal.
I think everyone's sick of it now, that's why. And I don't know, I'm not on it. I think the shopping thing worried me at the start because I was like, we're going to actually have to stockpile when we go.
Yeah,
everybody else
was doing it, yeah.
And there's nothing like toilet paper and flour, like are the basic essentials, and there's none. And
you
eggs.
need some cake.
Flour was necessary.
Like, baking is stress release for me, and I couldn't do it. But then because we'd filmed the music video the month before, I was like, for the first...
was just before, wasn't it?
Yeah. The panic for the first month, I was like, oh my god. And then after that, I was really focused on the release.
Oh, you see, I had something to keep you sidetracked.
I had a lot to do, and it was making me like more focused on just life. So I started working out. It wasn't consistent, but I was like, I'm gonna work out. I'm gonna get my mind right. I was filming challenges. I was doing little TikTok things. I was like posting all the time because I was trying to build it. So then up until April when we released it, it was like there was something to do. Yeah. And then as soon as it released, I promoted it for a week, and then George Floyd died.
And that's exactly the same thing.
I
didn't know what to do with the single after that, because what do you do as you feel wrong for then a couple of weeks posting promoting yourself and being like that, because really and truly you want to stand with you want to stand with your people, but then at the end of the day, like, now the track's been out for what, 3? Our tracks came out 2 weeks apart. They've been out for like 3
I get it,
months.
but I feel like
it kind of got
everyone
lost in
kind of did that.
Yeah.
Everybody who released anything at that time kind of knew, let me just take this because there's a bigger issue going on.
Yeah, exactly. I think what it was is we were like, yes, it's prime time because no one's
got anything to do.
Yes, entertainment, boom, boom, boom. And the video came out the week before, the video got lots of traction, and then when I started doing like the challenge and stuff, got nothing.
Lost in the
it was just lost in everything. And then you're like, what do I do now? Do I focus on this big issue? Or what content can I give that is going to be... But then you're like, what content can I give that's going to be relevant to this issue rather than I'm just jumping on it because it is...
Because it's relevant.
Of course. Obviously, no one's just going to jump especially if you're black, no one's just going to jump on it because it's relevant. They're going to be like, yo, let me
say
something.
It's more so the fashion brands and stuff that are doing it for hype.
Exactly. If you start speaking before you know anything, then you're just going to get torn apart.
Exactly.
Sometimes you have to sit back. If I can't help you, the best thing that we could do is promote other black businesses. Yeah. And then talk about racism and try and be really unapologetic. But there's a point as well. The way that the fashion industry dealt with that, fast fashion especially, they were just like, I actually, like maybe 4 weeks after, I went through a few different brands' Instagram, and they had like 3 posts of black women, black squares, Black Lives Matter, and then straight back to
right. So you see, you're talking about like the fashion industry. I'll tell you this: a lot of the fast fashion brands, yes, that's what they did. They started using their influences of colour, you know, as the face of the brand for a very short time.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you this, a lot of the high-end fashion designers and supermodels, they've kept it that way.
Yeah.
They've kept pushing. What's happened with fashion is a lot of the older white supermodels are actually coming forward with their stories about how they fought to get like Naomi Campbell on the runway and other models of colour, because it wasn't a thing. They fought to get the correct makeup for black women to wear, and they weren't looking great. Like Naomi Campbell is amazing, but if you look at her early runway, she's great. And she'll talk about it, and like she's got it's a podcast on her YouTube channel, and it was amazing. When she started that, I was watching every episode. Like literally, it was amazing because she would have on like a fashion designer or a model and literally talk through stories and how they've got to where they were. And when you hear some of the stuff that they had to deal with, especially like black people, it's a thing. She talks to a woman who, I don't want to get it wrong, but she lives in Australia, was born in Kenya. Her name's Adut Akchek. I think I'm probably butchering her name. Beautiful, beautiful woman. Very dark skin. Keeps her hair very, very short a lot of the time. And she's got a very Kenyan figure. She's slim, she's tall, long limbs.
Yeah.
Gorgeous for runway. She's a gorgeous girl, but even if you hear her talk, she grew up in a refugee camp. And she talks about how she loves seeing so many... It's diverse now for her. So her experience is so different to like Naomi Campbell's when she's talking, saying, you know, I was the black model. I was the only one they would let on, and that they wouldn't let her be on... With I think it was Italian Vogue.
Yeah.
They wouldn't let her be on the cover. And she just said, I want to be on the cover.
Yeah.
And she was like, you know, if you don't ask, you don't get.
Yeah.
But then for like a dude... She's literally, I've got, you know, I collect Vogue like a crazy person. I've got so many covers with her on. And she's beautiful. And she's not the only model of colour, but she's the it girl at the moment. She's stunning. So I think fashion, there's 2 sides. What most people see, you know, obviously on a normal budget, is fast fashion, and a lot of the brands, honestly, I've boycotted some of them because it was absolute bullshit. It was. I'm like, really? Black Lives Matter, the black square, for 3 days. Some of them deleted it afterwards, because it didn't go with the aesthetic of their feed, and I'm like, really?
It's so stupid. Does black go with the aesthetic of your brand?
Apparently not.
You don't deserve
black people's money.
You don't deserve black people's money if black doesn't fit your brand.
Completely agree.
Do you know how many people I've heard? It's not just models, it's like actresses, artists who are like, we turn up to the event, there's no makeup artist for us.
Yeah.
They don't have our makeup, we have to do our makeup.
You have to do your own hair. We assumed you would do your own hair.
Or they make you look mad.
Yes.
They will like do your hair with the worst products or straighten your afro, blah blah blah, and they're damaging hair and they're making people look mad, and they're like, oh yeah, that looks great.
Or requesting that your hair's cane rope so they can put a
exactly. Or asking for they want that European hair or whatever. And then you know what? I think we've gotten a bit too much power as the audience because there's a point of us where we're making things progressive.
Yeah.
And then there's a point of us where we're destroying things because they're not progressive yet. So like we'll be like, oh, this girl, oh, can you believe they're doing this with the makeup? Can you in the same breath, we're like, look at that crusty weave, look at that and we're like not realising that these models aren't choosing what's on them. Do you know what I mean? So
I mean, it's sometimes awful that obviously they get the feedback off it.
Here's the thing, like sometimes you have to criticise with care and be like, this is actually not the models, this is the brand.
I think Twitter's the best platform for that, because a lot of people will literally be like, at whatever brand, so and so looks crazy, you need to do better. And I'm like, yes, that's how it needs to be done now.
Just imagine, like, do you think a tall blonde white model has to think before they go to set, oh, I need to do my hair, or I need to bring some wigs.
Do they have my foundation?
Or do they have... Exactly.
Yeah. They don't
have that. Yeah. Or should I bring Keep Protector because I don't want them to burn my hair off just because they're trying to make me look like the aesthetic. Or, oh, should I take pictures in curly hair so that I look more ambiguous, blah, 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 blah. Like, that's not a problem that they have to deal with. But it's a problem that we have to deal with. And
I do feel like now that they're literally trying to make everybody like the same shade of beige, like Kardashian.
Yeah.
And this is
everybody's going to look like that, whether you're black, Asian, white, Orient, whatever you are, that's the look.
That's what they want. Have you seen...
Seen what?
Have you seen the trade?
Don't piss me off, please.
The trend in Asian hair now, where they're putting like... They're making their hair look afro.
Putting the puff in.
What?
Have you seen it?
No.
I think they're like, I don't remember exactly what they do, but I think they like blow dry
and back comb.
And they back comb it, and then they use the sponge so that they look like they've got...
Like you mean this?
The
afro
sponge? I saw it, I was
you know what? Don't even piss me off. Don't.
Listen, there's some like the cute little...
I don't want to hear it.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm not here.
It looks cute, but at the same time, it's like...
No. Of course it looks cute.
It looks hella cute.
Because everything looks cute, isn't it?
Well, it's a trend.
Don't.
It's a trend because right now things are in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know.
Like, we're in now, but still not too black.
It's always fashionable. It's always fashionable to be black until you're black.
Or very black.
Yeah, you can be very, very black. Or like... Or light skin, bordering on black.
It's like there's no, for the everyday black woman, there's not a face to be seen that represents them, unless it may be an actress in a slave movie as well.
Or like in an only black movie.
Or even like a last year there was a big thing about all the influencers that were, I hate this word, blackfishing. Oh.
You know what though? Really, have you seen it though? But this is
there was a lot of them though.
People are tripping, and then I looked and I was like, nah.
And there's even like the trend. Like I was on Twitter, and I don't know who the influencer model is, but there's an Asian girl, and she makes herself white, really, really white for some pictures, and really, really dark for others, depending on what she's promoting. And I'm like, she just can't do that. You can't just change. You know what frustrates me? Because we grew up.
Yeah.
And we were made to feel like you're not good enough.
Because no one knew what you were.
Exactly. You're not black enough. You're not white enough.
You're too African.
Being ambiguous when we were in school was not cute.
Being ambiguous
you're being called half caste.
You have the same parents and are different shades, different hair textures.
Different textures.
Is mad.
Yeah.
When people will say, I saw your mixed race sister.
Or which one of you has the same dad?
Yeah, who's your...
Or when I'm not in the house. Remember, I'm not going to say the person's name, but do you remember when somebody asked Mum, was Felicia adopted? And she went mad. I'm like, what the hell?
It's funny, isn't it? Like, now everyone's like, oh my gosh, you guys are so... I'm like, back then, I didn't have a group of friends because my black friends were like, you're acting too white, like you need to choose whether you want to chill with the black friends,
and it was not into be African then.
Yeah, so that too.
I just didn't have friends because I was African.
Listen, when I was in year 2, someone who I'm great friends with till now, so from 7, called me an ABC. I went home and I said to Mum, I was like, Mum, what's an ABC? She was like, what? And she was like, I don't know. So the next day I asked him, I was like, what do you mean when you're calling me that? I went home and I told Mum what it meant. I thought she was going to bust my ass, you know. I thought she was going to beat me. She went, dragged his mum up, spoke to her, why does your child have this language? So I said, it was crazy.
It's funny because now...
And she was like, oh, I'm sorry, it's just a thing we say. And she was like, a thing we say? Yeah.
hate that.
It was mad, but obviously times have changed and there's more African people. And I suppose it might be like when any new group integrates, there's like a weariness.
I don't think there's more. I don't think there's more than there was. I just think people stopped being ashamed. Yeah,
it's cooler now.
It's cooler now. Because when we were young,
I think where we grew up, I think there's more.
Where we grew up,
do you like London? There were a lot more West Africans than Birmingham. Like when we were growing up, and even like with us being Southern African, there wasn't any really.
But saying
to be honest. Go on.
Yeah,
but now, everywhere I look.
If you actually talk to people that we grew up with, a lot of them you'll find were just always African. A lot of them were always African. They just didn't say nothing.
And
you'll find out that they were like
pretended.
Senegalese or they were like Congolese. Yeah, they just straight up lie and say they were from Jamaica.
I said I was Jamaican because everybody was Jamaican.
Yeah, and everyone was speaking.
And everyone said they were from Kingston.
Yeah,
that's
the only place
they knew
it.
So everyone was from Kingston, but nah, there was always us there. We were just the only ones that grew up like
embracing
it and going around and just being like, no, I'm from Zimbabwe, so I don't care. So
I think as well we were brought up in a household where it was like
our house was painted like Africa.
Yeah, it's undeniable, and the only other Africans we knew growing up were adults.
Yeah,
like the ones that would actually say like there was a lot of Africans. Go Soho Road. There's plenty Zimbabweans, especially growing up. I remember that, but. When like in our age group, there was no one, and if they were like fresh from Africa. They couldn't deny it. They had an accent, and then they were picked on for having that.
Yeah.
So it's funny because now I think Afrobeats has really helped that.
Yeah.
Because when
Afrobeats, African fashion, things like that.
Yeah,
it's a big thing.
Yeah, it's being embraced, and it's being embraced by high end, and you know, I think when I started going to London to other people's unis, I was like, whoa, look how many Africans there were.
Oh yeah, because your friend was in was it Greenwich?
When I was going to Greenwich,
we went down like to go clubbing and that.
Yeah, that's when Afrobeat started getting popping though, and I was like, I didn't even know that there was a place in England where most of the black people were African. I just thought they were always
I had no idea, to be honest.
Yeah,
I did. I really was not clued up on it.
Yeah, and it was so cool to be African. And you know, it's so funny. In school, I felt too African. I felt like too African.
Yeah.
And now I feel not African enough. When I went to uni, I hung around with African people, and they were very, very
African.
Yeah, Nigerian and Ghanaian, and they were really proud and stuff. And because I hadn't had that experience growing up, I just felt like out of it. I was like, I can't actually, I can't do your dances. I don't eat the same food as you. But I was still like, it was still nice to see, but I didn't know what to. I actually ended up gravitating more to Caribbeans because I'd grown up around Caribbeans. So it was, it's interesting.
Hard. Like, even when I was working in the African restaurant, it was difficult, especially because they were all Zimbabwean as well. People being like, oh, you lived in Zim, can you speak Shona? No, I can't speak Shona. No one spoke Shona to me.
That was like my first job. Yeah. My first job was in a South African shop, and they'd come in and be like, oh, excuse me, where's the manager? And I was like, you're speaking to her? And they were like, oh. And they'd be like, no, I'll come back when Medem is back and leave the shop. And I'm like, okay.
It is embarrassing.
It's not my fault they didn't teach me.
I always have to explain. I'm like, look, my parents speak Shona.
Granny tried. She tried to enforce it when we were little.
Yeah, but mum and dad wanted to have private conversations.
That's it.
That's what I said.
The only words we know are the ones being cussed.
Yeah, I can say bread. I can say meat. Close the door, and I'll smack you.
And you're crazy.
and you're crazy.
Okay, I can say a bit more than that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I can say more than that. However, my accent is absolutely atrocious. Yeah. For someone who picks up languages really easy. African languages, not so much.
Because you're bougie, that's why.
It's not because I'm bougie, it is. No, you can't go from like doing, Spanish and French, English, Latin languages to...
No, that's a lie, because you grew up with... Every day you go to your grandma's house, you hear that accent.
Every time.
It doesn't come out.
You know what?
It doesn't come out. When I open my mouth, it's like...
Did you guys even realise that mum and dad had accents until you got older?
No, not until dad said circumstance. And I was like, what is a circumstance?
I know. Yeah. It's like when people are like, I really like your dad's accent even now. My dad's got an accent.
Yeah, it's only afterwards.
It's crazy. Like, really? Is he still got it? And
yeah, he does.
But I hear
don't
it in
hear
every
it
other
ever.
Zimbabwean. I hear it in every other Zimbabwean. But
he's got a different accent though. He didn't grow up.
He's got the Seychelles one.
Even then,
he's got just a mix.
Yeah. Even then, Mum had one.
Mum had it proper, but we clocked Mum's though because of the cup.
Yeah, but that's funny.
Little words that and heaped instead of heaped. Like it's like a heaped spoon.
But Mum was the funniest.
You know, because when I see Mum's like relatives, who are obviously our relatives, but you know, relatives. Like, that accent is so strong. How come Mum doesn't sound like that when these are her people?
But she did. And Mum's accent was the funniest because it was like half Zims and then she had the Brum twang. I was like, what is this?
Yeah. And sometimes she speaks Patwa.
It
doesn't make no sense.
She made me think I could speak Patwa.
What? Did I try to speak
Patwa?
Are you mad?
Yeah, but try to speak Patwa in front of a Caribbean. Wow, they hate it.
Of course.
They hate it. But you know what's so funny? Mum was also
hate it if your friend who's not African started like bossing Zimbabwe.
I might laugh a little bit though.
I don't know.
Caribbeans be looking at you like, are you disgusting or what? Like you lose.
What are you gonna do if your friend comes to your house and they're like, oh, Monique, I'm gonna help you one other salsa. You're gonna be like,
get out.
I would laugh. I'd be like, you know what? You tried. Don't do it again, but you tried though.
Mr. Chuck called it Muna. Yeah, Muna the salsa.
Oh my gosh! Do you remember when someone called salsa Samza?
Stop it!
It's one of the Samza. Like, you lot are good, yeah. You let people try your African food very early.
You better.
Nah.
I'm not bringing you to Granny's house for you to come and say, I'm sorry, what's that? I'm not eating that.
You have to break people into it and be like, there's this thing we eat. It's our staple. It's like mashed potato with no flavour, but we love it.
That's not true.
It's not. It's better than mashed potato.
No. If I explain it to people, they're like, "Oh, so was it fufu?"
Baby food.
And once they say that, I see red.
What?
When they're like, "Oh, is it fufu then?"
Yeah, no, that drives me mad.
I don't know.
It's not.
It's not.
Fufu's wet.
And it's in gravy.
In gravy. It's wet. It's like they cook the sadza in the gravy in a bowl, and then they serve the gravy around it, and it's really wet and like.
Doesn't sound.
And pandy jam, it's like they'd be like, "Oh, it's like pandy jam." I've never tried it.
You don't want to try it.
I don't know if it's disgusting because I've never people's food, but it isn't for me.
The texture of it makes me uncomfortable.
But then there's like our South African food that I do not eat. I don't eat gizzards. I don't eat tripe. What's the legs?
Mazondos.
Is that
yeah, mazondos.
Pork and beef feet.
Yeah.
Chocolate.
They've got different names depending on which one. One's mazondos and one is...
I don't eat that.
Something else. Don't judge me.
Tripe. What, guru?
Tripe is the...
No, they call it guru.
I don't even know. I know the smell.
I know the smell. Tripe is a no.
It's disgusting.
But I won't eat my thimbis though.
I won't.
I won't. Do you know what? I was watching Animal Planet with the kids. Yes, I love Animal Planet. Why are you laughing? It's amazing.
It's because I can already pre-see what happens.
David Attenborough is my guy.
When he dies, I'll cry.
Don't say that.
Don't say that.
I feel like
he's really old. I don't know.
I'm petitioning to get him to say every word in the dictionary so he can keep.
So he can just keep his voice going.
Oh my god.
I think we should just watch it.
I'm gonna make you watch this episode. Yeah.
Stick his sack in someone else.
They're like, oh, and these are the Mapani worms. And I'm thinking, why do I know this word? Why have I heard Mapani worms? I looked at it and I was like, oh, dehydrated. I've had you on my plate. I said to her, Maya, she's like, whoa, those are big caterpillars. I was like, they're not big. And she's like, yeah, they are. And then like, oh, maybe they're smaller dehydrated. And I'm like, oh.
And they are smaller dehydrated. They are way smaller.
Mapani worms. Then it comes up Zimbabwean delicacy.
Yo, they're delicious.
It comes up as Southern African.
No, I even remember the taste. I remember the taste.
I remember walking through Spa in Brayside.
I have not eaten those as an adult.
Since
the last time I ate them. So evil. I was 7.
Guys,
I was 7.
Okay, Zimbabweans would be eating these caterpillars as a delicacy.
Oh my god.
And when FJ was 7, when Felicia was 7, she ate one and she didn't want to eat it, so she told everybody.
It bit her.
She told everyone that it bit her tongue. She told everyone that it bit her tongue. I was like, man didn't beat this. I wasn't biting me.
What, it it bit me. It bit me.
It didn't, man. You're so dramatic.
No, it's disgusting.
Oh my gosh. No. But no, I'm glad that being African is now like very cool. Because I feel really proud to be like, oh, I'm from Zims, and because there's not that many, even with now, Africans that I do know, there's not that many from Zims.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So it's nice to be able to do that and then be like, no, I can't speak Shona.
There's actually loads of Zimbabweans in Birmingham.
I don't know many our age though.
I don't know them.
I just worked in the right place. I got the whole of Zimbabwe confined us. Oh, are you from Arcadia at Brayside? Okay.
Oh no.
So yeah, it was great.
Oh, can we discuss? Oh, this is what I wanted to say before.
Yeah.
Isn't it funny how when we grew up, being white was being beautiful, and as soon as the Kardashians came about, being mixed was being beautiful.
Yeah, or
even though they're not mixed.
They are technically. Kris Jenner's white American.
Yeah, and the dad's Arab.
It's Armenian.
Armenian?
Yeah.
I don't know where that is.
It's by Greece. It's not.
Oh,
it's not
so nothing.
Basically Greek-ish.
Gresh.
No, you can't say that.
Do you know what that is? They're mixed race.
They're mixed.
They're exactly.
I'm not even gonna go there.
They're mixed race, but they are presenting as a different mix.
Type of mix, that's a
they're
good one.
Presenting as the mix that they want their children to be.
What did you see the pictures of Kim
Kardashian? Because of who they choose to have their children with.
Did you see? Pictures of Kim Kardashian as a Leah.
No, but I did see the ones of Kylie.
Don't tell me that though, that made me angry.
Yeah, I know you love
I did see the one of Kylie doing up a Beyonce.
What?
Did you see that?
What? What is this?
I don't want to.
What is this?
Listen, they're not my celebrities, you know.
They're not
I don't actually care about them.
They're not my celebs.
But what annoys me is that it's how they've become the standard of beauty.
I know.
Because their beauty is not actually natural.
Well, obviously.
So,
to have.
Yeah, and it's very difficult to see people get the perks of being white.
Yeah.
Well,
and the perks of being ambiguous. And then only dating black men. Mostly.
Yeah, but is that preference?
And the minus one. Is it preference?
People do date. No, but it might be because you
you know
do
what
date.
they are.
Yeah, of course. Do you know what I mean?
I feel the problem with me is I feel like a lot of what they do is performative. So I feel like if they kept their skin the shade it was when they were originally making content, they would be I really want to have a mixed race baby. I would love to have a mixed race baby with curly hair and da 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 da. That's the vibe that I get.
Okay.
Because I feel like they are profiting off of that.
I feel like it definitely doesn't help that they make a point of trying to look more like
have African features.
Yeah, so literally that it doesn't help. Like obviously if you find that attractive, but that still ain't you. So
no, I get you.
Whether you're into it like you did it because you like black features and you want to look more like don't. That's just all I had to say.
I think it's a universal thing where people do need to just be comfortable in who you are. Like I know that there's a lot of white people who feel that with the whole Black Lives Matter that it's not okay for them to be happy in who they are. And I'm like, okay, to me, you're deepening it a bit too much. Because it's a thing of, well, no, it's just so everybody can be comfortable, happy, and accept who they are.
Exactly.
And also have other people accept who they are as they are.
And not fetishize it. Accept it, but I don't need to want to be that.
Exactly.
Like, we've had to do that. We've had to do that our whole lives. Like, relaxing your hair. I don't want to have to be this. Just because it's attractive. You guys are choosing to be like how we are because it's attractive and it's working right now. We didn't have a choice before. Me wearing an afro to work 10 years ago would have been unprofessional, even though
it's still considered unprofessional
in
some jobs. At some jobs now, so
it grows out of my head like this. Like, what do you want me to do? There's literally nothing I can do, but I can come to work in a headscarf and be told now I have to wear a certain uniform. Literally, this happened to me last year.
I know.
So, I think it's hard to accept when people can use both when they feel like pick it up and throw it down when they feel like it. That's where it starts to hurt.
Of course.
That's where it starts to be a problem. And I think also, I was talking about this today with somebody. I was saying that there is an inherent lack of self-confidence that I think has been exacerbated by social media. But you see people changing their appearances for likes.
Mm-hmm.
And
and
it's pulling away from the learning that we're all meant to be doing. Yeah. So I think people are really used to getting gratification from outside of themselves, and they don't feel like they have to do the work to love themselves anymore.
Yeah, just someone else is showing them the love.
Exactly.
It's true.
And it's really bad, I think, for mental health.
Of course it is, and especially now that so many people are getting like cosmetic procedures.
Yeah.
So the price is going down.
Yeah.
And it's like, I can just do this. I can just do this.
Yeah. And there's a monetary gain from getting it because you're going to get more likes, you might get some sponsorships, blah, blah, blah. But then I feel it. The only people who are allowed to be natural are people who are branding themselves as natural vegan.
Yeah. You can't just be like, this is me.
No. Yeah. I couldn't like post a song and go and comfortably do it without my face on. Like, it sounds ridiculous, but I can't do that because I'm like, well, people are going to be like,
it's not going to get the likes.
Yeah, it's definitely not. You can look at my feed now and see that people don't. The ones that I've got the best vocals on, I'm sitting looking like a tramp, just doing my thing, and there's no love on those. And the ones where I'm sitting, just not doing anywhere near my best, it's got all the love because I look good in the video. That's ridiculous.
It's going to be the clicks. It's going to be where the clicks go.
I know, but then you get people who argue that, you know, sex sells and that's the way it's been and all of that.
It is the way that it's been, but also how it's been for the last forever is Weinstein. Do you know what I mean? Like, this is why sex sells.
It's been this way doesn't mean it's got to stay that way.
This is why sex sells, because a lot of people in the music industry, even at the lowest levels, see it as the artist is an object for me to play with because they need my help.
Yeah,
sort
like
of a thing.
You can play with it, manipulate them, get them
exactly.
to do
the
project
and because I have the connections you need to get to where you want to be. So you have to look good, so you can look good next to me, and then I can get you where you want to be. Sort of a thing. So I think for myself, I'm not really comfortable with having like a full beat or being really trying to be really aesthetically pleasing for people to listen to my music, and it might be a downfall, but I find it really hard to be like, okay, let me be sexy so that people will listen to me, or let me be, because I feel like the music should be enough, but social media especially has made it like that, because if you actually look at the artists we grew up listening to, they weren't wearing bare makeup, they weren't
but at times didn't call for it.
This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying.
Like, you do get things like the Mariah Carey that was, you know, made to look overly European. You know, with the phase with the short denim shorts. The girl next door kind of look with Daisy Dukes, Cleavy Jow, cutesy. That was the thing. So I think it has always happened, just in different ways. There's different fads of what's up.
Yeah, there is. So, I just think I find it really hard, because I guess I looked up to people who weren't fully made up and fully like so now for me to do it,
but then that's why there's all those memes that like, you know, beauty in the 90s was effortless, because it was. You didn't have to be caked in makeup, but there was certain things. There was a lot of lip liner, big hair
and tiny brows,
you know, very form-fitting clothing,
low rise jeans and that,
all of that,
tummy out,
Oh,
I like that look.
I like the boxes.
Of course you like that.
Of course I do, but I can't do it.
No, you can't. No, you can't.
Send back to Africa on a farm.
Trust me, self-master my big age, though. Don't slap me on a canoe.
I remember the first time, Mum found a thong. She was like,
jeez, what is this?
She was like, Felicia, come let me talk to you. She told me how this underwear was for big women who were sexually active and all of this. I was like, wow. I was just wearing the underwear my friends were like, I was just copying my friends.
Do you know how I begged Mum for a thong? This is mad. I begged Mum for a thong. I was like, Mum, please. They're supposed to be like, you know, the thong. She was like, no, you're not getting no thong. And then I had to get to buy me one. And the same night she bought me one, Dad and some uncles were at the table talking about thongs.
Oh no!
And they were like, "What is this tonga business? What's this tonga business? Doesn't even cover the bum cheeks." I was like, "I'm gonna hide these. I'm not getting in trouble."
It's mad.
I don't remember my first thong, so there you go.
Oh my god!
I might have been too old. I was against them for a long time.
Nah, but I'm not
you've
gonna lie,
changed a lot though. You were very shy.
I don't want a string up my ass.
I also don't want it.
I don't want it.
In my old age, my cheeks have got bigger, and they just swell on the cheek.
I don't want to be walking around trying to find my string. It's
Trust me.
man.
I think it's also like not the most hygienic underwear that you can wear. So
they're only
special occasions. The only reasons why I wear them is if I want my cakes to look jiggly.
And I want my cakes to jiggle. Maybe it's just me.
You're on your own, mate.
No, I want firmness. I want people to be like, what
that's because you were blessed with huge cheeks, so you don't
they
need
always
to.
jiggle. I don't want them to.
No, I want mine to jiggle. And they got like they're all right, an all right muffin size. But when you put on a summer dress and you put on a thong, man, it is just
like a maxi dress. It does make it sit different. It does. It
pops.
I never wear a thong with a maxi dress ever because I don't like the shape. You get that like line there, and it bugs me because I get that like
pull the thong up above the meat.
I know
above the side meat. And then it just
splits.
You don't need to.
Around the wedgie all day for the aesthetic.
I don't even care. Just with a little wedge.
No, I would rather be commando. I've never
see
been
that
commando,
works, but
I'd rather be commando.
Nah, you know why? Sweat.
That is
sweat
not
and chafage.
And there's a lot of thigh still, so it's not
too much thigh.
No.
Here's the thing.
I just wouldn't feel comfortable.
Do you think that thick women look good in dresses and skirts? Remember, we are going through it.
Trust me, my thighs are
We're going through it. Have you ever had thigh rash? I didn't think so. We knew after about half an hour.
Have you ever tried to lotion the rash and then carry on about your day afterwards?
And you know what's like? They'd be like, use talcum powder. Okay,
no, don't use talcum powder.
Use deodorant. Deodorant just makes it all dry and
get
shit.
smart and use Vaseline at some point.
Nah, because it's
Vaseline
all you've got. Sometimes it's all you've got, though.
No.
Sometimes it's all you've got.
Has it worked to you? Because it's just literally made me feel like fire is being burned.
The only thing that's worked is natural deodorant. That's the only thing that's worked. Yeah, but have you seen the chafing? Like the chafing bands.
I don't trust that
the
shit.
shorts.
I'm gonna try it.
Tell me if it works.
I've followed a few fashion bloggers who they love it.
You know what it is? I wanted to.
You know who do them? You know the people whose tights we love.
Oh.
They do them.
I need to get some of them tights.
Yeah.
I just want the bands so I can still wear a skirt.
Yeah.
I want the bands. I'm gonna try. Because I'm not out here trying to start forest fire. It's hot. It's hot. It pisses me off. But they got them like, they do them in lace so that they look sexy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're rethinking it now.
Yeah, but lace is
Leah's gonna come out in
nothing but bands.
Full brief. Full brief and band.
Watch me.
You're absolutely crazy.
You have to.
Oh my gosh. A full brief and a band.
I think so.
I don't think I will.
Oh, I know you will. That's the problem.
And heels.
This might be a new trend.
It's not.
I might wear it on stage one day.
Why not? Is that going to be a quarantine business?
Yeah, I'm gonna make bands. You know what? I might make. Oh my gosh!
Oh
my gosh!
Toes and bands.
Toes and bands.
Toes and bands. Oh, toes and bands. Only fans.
I'm gonna start making flip flops that like the little tonga will match the bands and then masks to match that.
No.
Oh, that's gang.
Shoulders, thighs, and
toes. Zero subscriptions. People will be paying subscriptions.
No, I would rock that.
No face, no case. Mask. Thick thighs save lives. Thighs.
And then what for your toes?
Some toes be nose.
No. People are really putting their feet on OnlyFans.
I'm doing it. I'm doing it.
After
we wax my toes, you like.
I'm doing it.
You bet my toes on the ground.
Oh my God.
Maybe some money, baby.
They might be stubby, but they'll do.
No.
They'll do.
No.
Do you know what I'll do? You know how I can pick things up with my toes?
Oh my
It's a real
God.
thing. Nah, I can do.
You know what? Here's the thing. If I ever see a clip of your dusty foot picking anything up online,
she'll know it's your foot. She'll be
like, they're strong as hell, and the front, up until the ankle, they look good, and then the heels be doing a bit of a madness. But also,
you're gonna get your angles for your feet.
You know what?
Foot foundation.
Maybe I'll make masks for the back foot. Just jump it around the front.
You know what? It's masks for feet, you know.
What?
Yeah, there's masks for feet. They're called socks. Idiots.
I was very excited.
I was like, I seen both of you look really shocked, like, there's masks for my feet.
I was thinking about marketing campaign, you know.
Why had I seen them before? They look so sick in my heels.
Trust me. Yo, the back of the heel did a little tribal tip. Oh my god.
That's a sock. It's a sock. That's all it is. You're not doing my heading review feet, man. You know I don't like feet. You're sweating and stuff because you're talking about feet.
Man. Don't be mad. I was thinking your quarantine's taking a step too far. The foot fetish and the mask. The foot mask. The foot mask. We already have it. It's already a thing.
It's a sock. It's a sock.
Can you get... Is there such thing as a sexy sock?
Actually, yeah, you know, ASOS do some really nice socks.
I can sew you some.
Cut the toes
out.
out.
Doesn't sound good. It sounds like...
You know he wants to sew you something. Don't ask me. I don't know.
Gym shoes that have separate toes.
Yo, you get them socks.
They just stick it in the socks. You know, the toes. And then you cut off the toes. And then...
Why do you cut off the toes?
Because some men like suck toes.
Yeah, that's true, you know.
You just so that you don't have to take your sock off.
They
don't have to see the toe knuckles. They just see the toes.
If they see the buds, yeah. The curvature of the foot is still there, but they don't see it.
They
just want to peel it off.
You
know what I might do?
No.
I might draw some sunglasses on the big toe. Just stick it out. Keep it nasty.
No, that's nasty.
I don't know what the brand is.
That's nasty with a hard eye, you know.
If I can get £80 to send a picture of my foot.
Is it £80 for a foot picture? Are you taking?
Do you know what happened? Okay, I don't know if this was staged for TikTok, yeah, but this girl was like, she was crying on the camera, and she was like, crying with laughter on the camera, and she's like, some dude just came up to me and asked me for a picture of my toes.
Oh, I think I saw it.
Who's selling you can get £80 to sell pictures of feet, and she's like crying with laughter. She's like, I couldn't believe it, and she like picks up her drink and she's got £80 in her hand. I'm like, you know what? I would do the same.
Are you mad? Oh, we're gonna draw angles.
Are we gonna double that shit up? See that? Look, see.
I feel like feet are private parts that need to be hidden. I do.
There's plentiful other places that should be hidden that people haven't shown you. Tell me about my feet.
If I could make OnlyFans for shoulders and toes, oh my gosh.
Trust me, the décolletage.
Nah, this is sexy though.
You know,
it is décolletage.
If I didn't get my tattoo, it's gonna be all décolletage.
Oh yeah, but now
just straight before the cleavage.
Exactly, décolletage, baby.
You know it's always right. Yeah, it's going down. I'm gonna have to make.
What is wrong with you?
Just like a picture, just
foot next to décolletage.
I
think this is a real money maker.
This is what happens. I feel like with all of this quarantine stuff, it's like everybody is making up weird businesses. Like, listen, everybody's a chef now. Have you noticed?
Yeah, everybody.
On Instagram.
Really?
You haven't seen it?
I've been keeping
everybody. Listen, I'm telling you now. Yeah, I love my black people. I love them, but all of them have someone's kitchen.
You know what?
Listen, and some of it looks boom, you know. But if you don't have your health and safety,
no food
don't
set,
take your food from the yard.
It's literally from the yard.
Yeah, I don't mind that if you have your food handling.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna act like I ain't eaten from one of them places before. Some of them bang.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Some of them
it's not my fault. I didn't go there on purpose. I got told we're going for some food. Yeah, we pulled up outside someone's yard, and they gave me 2 separate types of Tupperware container. Yeah. So, you know, it was just one that they definitely got from.
Was it yellow from the curry?
You know, it was from whenever they ordered Chinese or something. Because one was square and one was round on the sides. Yeah. And we ordered the same meal, and I was like, okay, but it was pain.
Was it Caribbean food?
Yeah, it was absolutely.
You know what I want? You know, there is one thing that I would try.
What?
You know that like fish boil with the shrimp and the lobster, sweet corn.
Listen. It's pain.
I would, I'm not gonna lie.
Nah,
I know.
Whenever I see them pop up on Instagram, I'm like, it's seafood, yeah.
There's one in
But then seafood's what a poison, yeah.
It's true. Now there's one in Handsworth that you need to go to.
Seafood.
Yeah, of course.
What's it called?
Well, I don't know what it's called. I know the chef's name though.
Oh, you have to slay.
Yeah. HMU, hit me up. I think we need to do a little tour. We need to do a little food tour.
I don't know about that.
What do you mean?
I need to go taste flavours.
ASMR, let people hear us.
Yeah, all around the world. You lot are nasty.
You're not enjoying business ideas here.
You know what I mean? We're trying to make some
business ideas here.
Lockdown's got to you a bit.
My music isn't making money right.
You know what I mean?
Music isn't
I will drop my links in the link below, yes?
You need help. You need help.
Music isn't making money right now.
So this is what you do.
Spotify.
You know when you tell people that you want to be a singer, yeah? When you first tell them and they're like, oh, so what's your backup plan? This is the bit where you're meant to have that backup plan. Not talking about
backup plan
toes and what was it, toes and holes or something?
Decolatoes.
Same thing.
Toes and holes.
You have to say that. Decolatoes.
No.
Look, you might not be feeling it, but
trust me, if me and Monique come up with something, if we got some new rules, don't question what happened when I'm
the top 0.3. Top 0.3 creators on OnlyFans.
Decolatoes.
Decolatoes.
No.
It's going down.
No. Not gonna happen at all.
What's hating hard?
No. You need help. What is the plan now going forward now that everything's opening?
At first I was like, I'm just gonna wait for 2 weeks.
Okay.
See how many people drop like flies, and then if it seems like a safe number, I'm gonna go outside.
Yeah.
But I have been outside. It's not scary at all.
Mm-hmm.
People are very masked and very cautious and
in some places.
and also there's only so long I can be lonely for.
Oh really?
So I've been to restaurants. It seems cool. I'm not feeling to go to no gym anytime soon because people are discussing in the gym on a normal day. I don't care how many times you say you're going to clean it. You're not cleaning it after everyone's done their set. So no. But I will go out and eat. I will travel only a little though. I'm not really trying to eat.
Do you mean abroad or?
No. Within the country. Do you know that they let people start going back to Spain? And now they've put another quarantine where all the people who decided to go have to now quarantine for 2 weeks when they get back. So I'm not feeling to do that.
I've heard rumours of them locking down Luton because a lot of them have come in through Luton.
Yeah.
And there's people getting sick.
Yeah, I'm not going to do it. There's so much that I will do.
Mm-hmm.
I am anticipating for them to be flu season next wave.
Yeah, but this is the thing, with the next wave, is it coronavirus or is it the flu?
I think it's going to be complications from people getting the flu and corona.
Yeah, but remember, people who, I know it's horrible, but would die of the flu anyway. Yeah. It's still going to be classed as a corona day.
Yeah, they'll be doing that.
And this is the thing, so it's mad. Yeah, that's what I mean. But they're going to get away because it's going to be a higher number that time of year where we have more deaths anyway. It's going to be called a second wave.
Yeah, and then we're going to have to... do you know what it is? People will start going crazy if we have another lockdown. They will actually start getting tapped if we have another lockdown.
You reckon?
I don't think they will. I don't think they've got anything.
I think people have got used to it.
No. I think people will go crazy. I just don't think they'll lock us down.
Oh,
because they've let us out again, and then to start telling people they've got to rein in again.
People back in is going to be really... I know they've already done that. They've already locked down. What city did they lock down? Was it Leicester or something? I don't know. But they've locked down a city, so now they're trying to do instead of the whole country.
Wasn't it?
They're doing cities.
Was it Nottingham? I feel like it was somewhere pretty close.
If the numbers get too high in the city,
they're locking it down. Yeah. But I think people will start going mad, or they'll just start
ignore it completely.
It's true.
Because how can you? I can't live scared to go outside.
Of course.
And I still don't want to. I don't want to get sick.
Yeah.
But I think at the very least, I was going crazy before I could see my family.
Those
weeks where I couldn't see you
lot,
I was like, no. But as soon as I saw you guys, I was like, I think I can handle this for a bit longer.
Yeah.
So at the very least, they have to let you do your family bubble thing.
Let's hope so.
I won't listen if they tell me I can't, to be honest.
Yeah, mental health is way
it's way more important.
Yeah, I know, but then when you think about it, like, yeah.
Mentally healthy.
This is gonna be the hard thing now. I know a lot of mental health services, they've got waiting lists and stuff because people's mental health. There you go.
They just dropped me. They just sent me a text and said you didn't get back in touch with us, and I was like,
there's so many people who it's affecting, and because of hours being cut, the way that they do things changing, people are not getting seen to. Yeah. So I know that the suicide rate's gone mad. But then as well, some of it's not been classed as suicide.
Yeah.
So it's a bit crazy.
I think the big thing is at a certain point you have to use your discernment.
Yeah.
And you have to be like, look, am I more scared of going outside in a mask or not seeing my family and being and killing myself?
Well, this is the thing.
Or getting really depressed and then not being even able to talk to my family because I'm just not in the space.
In the beginning
knowing
of
that the
lockdown,
support is not going to be good.
We had a friend say to us, didn't we?
Yeah.
Like, no, if your mental health...
It was at the beginning.
You don't think it was the beginning?
It was at the beginning. It was quite deep in. It was quite deep in because it had already got a bit tragic.
Yeah.
So it was literally, it was that because he said to us, at this point, you can't...
Yeah, you have to think.
You have to think
mental health.
Yeah. And also, I think with family, you know where your family's been.
That's true.
Like, I know where I've been.
You got
I've
like
been
a
to
wild
the shop.
cousin doing everything.
Yeah, I've been to the shop. That's it. Yeah. I've been to where everyone else has been. But if I knew my brethren was actually still going around to everybody's yard and linking up there,
you're not going to see them.
I'm not going to do it. But my family, I'm going to do it. I can't do without.
Yeah.
I just can't do without you lot. And if I have to, you lot are my best friends. So I'm not. There's only so much a voice note can do or a phone call can do. And then if I get a phone call, I'm just going to get more sad. Yeah. Because I'm going to be like, I don't get to see them. Do you know what I mean? Remember when I had to drop that thing at your house and I couldn't hug you? Nothing?
Oh, that was horrible. I literally closed the door and I was like,
yeah, and the kids were there and they were like, oh, we can't hug because of the corona. I'm just like, no, I can't do that.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking.
So, yeah, if it happens again, at the end of the day, people are going to start dying because their job security is gone.
Yeah.
So it's either don't want to die from corona, don't want to die from starvation, don't want to die from like feeling depressed, or don't want to die from corona. Like,
it's a horrible way to live.
But I don't even think that. I think if you are careful and you are. And you have a good moral compass where you won't lie to people about who you've been around. Yes. You're all right. You're all right. Obviously, don't be going to the raves. I saw people going to the raves as soon as things opened up.
What raves?
I was like,
there's been raves. There's been outdoor raves.
Oh, the outdoor raves. Yeah, that's mad.
I even saw people at Box Park.
Really?
I was like, how is Box Park open?
I'm not doing that. I don't need to have strangers all up close to me and whatever like now.
There's been videos of street parties and people doing all sorts of things.
And I'm not going to lie, part of me, while I've been like in the house, I'm like, I can't wait till things open up, I could do the night out, XYZ. But then I'm like, really? Am I ready for that? No.
I'm ready for a night out with my people. That's it.
Yeah, but
and around no one else. Around no one else. I could just go for a dance. But then we've had birthdays and stuff, and it's just been cool because it's just been us. I think that was needed.
Oh, 100%.
But like, I would go for brunch.
Yeah.
I would go for lunch now because I've been to a restaurant and I've seen how things are done.
A party.
But I'm not going to party. Because it's not controlled. No. Restaurants are having to be extremely controlled, and restaurants are extremely clean in general.
I get you.
So it's cool. But I'm not going to a rave. If you lot are going to raves,
shame. Or shame on you.
More for you. Because when you come out, you'll be coughing. You know what I'm going to say?
Coughing your mouth?
There, man, trying to chat. Anyway. Shall we round it up, ladies?
I think we should.
Yes. Guys, thank you for tuning in to the first episode. I hope you enjoyed our ramblings. I'll put the link in the description for Declan.
I'll delete it.
And so do you guys want to give social medias or just say goodbye and we'll put social medias down below?
We'll just put it down below.
Put it below.
Alright, so I've been Monique Danielle,
Felicia Juliana,
Leah Naomi,
and
Peace.
You should meet my sisters, son. You've met
the sisters.
Come back. Come back next week, please. Bye, guys.
Bye.
This is sponsored by Gucci.
It's sponsored by Gucci.